Good morning to all of you. I am Subramanian, PL Subramanian. I am going to discuss goods and services tax practitioner. GST practitioner section 2 subsection 55 and section 48 rule 83 that say I have given my contact number. If you want details, you can take note of that. I have given my YouTube ID also, PL Subramanian. I have already uploaded 6-7 videos on GST and one on income tax. I will be doing it regularly. Most probably once in a week, I will be uploading something on GST, income tax, etc. Okay, we will take up the subject as such now. Before going to the subject, I would like to recite one Tirukkural. Tirukkural is a Tamil book written by Thiruvalluvar nearly 2000 years back. It is having 133 chapters. Each chapter is having 10 couplets or poems. Each couplet is having only 7 words. Okay. So totally 1330 couplets are there. Then it is divided into on virtues, that is one, second one wealth, third one is love. So whatever the management consultants are writing today about the management and all that is covered in this 7-word couplets as such. Here we are going to see one couplet as such. I will be reading in Tamil, then I will read the English translation also, because most of you might not be knowing Tamil. So I will do. Only request is that please get a book on Tirukkural in your mother tongue, most probably in your mother tongue, if it is not possible in English, or download from the internet and start reading what is relevant for you. I am not asking you to read 1330 couplets or something like that. Even you can choose 5-6 and you can follow that. Okay, now we will go to that one that தூங்கு தூங்கிச் சேர்வால தூங்கற்க தூங்காது செய்யும் வினை காலம் தாழ்த்தி செய்ய தக்கவற்றை காலம் தாழ்த்தே செய்ய வேண்டும். காலம் தாழ்த்தாமல் விரைந்து செய்ய வேண்டிய செயல்களை செய்ய காலம் தாழ்த்தக்கூடாது. எண் 672 அதிகாரம் வினை செயல் வகை. How to do something? It is about the work. It is talking about that, not anything other than that. I have chosen that. It says that what you have to do immediately, you do it immediately. What you can keep it pending, because that is not that urgent. You can examine it, do it slowly. So that is the time management. So there are books running into hundreds of pages and all that. What they are dividing into, first we will see that what the time management experts are telling. They want that 4 quadrants of time management. They divide into 4 different activities: important, urgent, crisis and emergency, that you have to do. It is very important and you have to do immediately. Urgent, important but not urgent. Prevention, planning, improvement. It is important but you can take some time, not very urgent. Not important but urgent. Interruptions and buyback, busy work, and not important but urgent, that you immediately have to do certain unimportant things also. Not important, not urgent, time wasters. So normally we spend more time on time wasters. What the Tirukkural says, that we will see that things which may be done at leisure could be implemented slowly and deliberately. You have to analyze it, do it. But things requiring prompt action should not be put off even for a moment. So what is given in 7 words, most probably we have translated in 20, 23, 24 words as such. Then there are some things that is explanation which could be done in due course, slowly, deliberately. These may be deliberated over a period and done at some leisure. So when you have time, you can do that, but it's important. It is not that, so you have to deliberate it, you have to analyze it, you have to take decision. But many other actions call for immediate attention, time dimension being important. So time is very important for certain actions. You have to do it. The same thing then later may not serve any purpose at all. All such jobs should be executed at once. So I used to tell in my executive development programs long back that after GST has introduced, please don't submit the annual return, which is to be submitted on December. Don't submit it, say March, no, April, May, June, and like that. Why? Because if you have submitted the annual return, then you cannot take the credit and all that pertaining to the previous year. So, but that we will do it earlier, but we will do other monthly return delayed. But that we should not do it. But fortunately, nobody could file the annual return earlier than December because no form was available. That is some or other the persons who used to do something very fast, because they will say that no, our company is very efficient, we will file it immediately. But I used to tell that if your company is very efficient, prepare it and keep it. But don't file it before filing the September return for the next year. Because after September return is filed, you cannot change that. After the due date for September return is over, you cannot take the credit and correct the mistakes, etc. So I'm not going to the detail of input tax credit and all that here. That is not the purpose. Okay. So here I have written 3 books on. I have written nearly 20 books on indirect tax, direct tax, limited liability partnership, professional tax, etc. So I have written 3 books on GST. It is one is GST Ready Reckoner. Even though it is called as Ready Reckoner, my books are known in Maharashtra and other places as Ready Reckoner. It is simple and all that, but it covers everything. So whatever we are going to see, what is the syllabus for that? That is also covered. That okay, all that covered. That is, it covers State Act, Central Act, IGST, and UTGST, and cess also it covers, but that it run into 1500 pages or something like that. Next book, that this I am very happy to inform you, I have written a book, Service Tax Ready Reckoner. It has come 28th edition, that is 2017. Before GST was introduced, 28th edition has come. Afterwards, they have not published. Most probably, when it is required, one more edition may come. Okay, that is a thing. Then GST, I have written 2 more books, one for Maharashtra GST, but it is not Maharashtra GST, but people would like to see there with the name of Maharashtra, but it covers CGST, IGST, Maharashtra GST, and UT GST also, and cess also. Third one I have written for Tamil Nadu GST, that also covers, even though it is called Tamil Nadu GST, it covers everything. Say, GST is very beautiful act. What is that advantage? Say, first of all, sitting in Chennai, you can manage the GST for 15 states, 20 states, all, because everything is available on internet itself. So that is the beauty of the GST asset. Okay, GST practitioner. We will go to the subject asset. GST laws permit certain person other than chartered accountant, cost accountant, etc. to practice GST. That section 2, subsection 55 defines GST practitioner as goods and service tax practitioner, means any person who has been approved under section 48 to act as such practitioner. You can write it, GST practitioner approved by Government of India. Like that, he can write in his letterhead, in his name board, signboard, etc. It is important to know that it is recognition given by law. Okay, what is the benefit in becoming GSTP? It gives recognition. It gives confidence to prospective clients. So in your place, there are two consultants. One is GSTP, another one is not GSTP, and he might be very knowledgeable. But when they see that you are approved by the government of India, they will have more confidence in you. That is my point. GSTP name shall appear in GSTN portal and will facilitate business people in selection of their GST consultant. For example, in Madurai, somebody wants to get the names of the consultant. If they go to GST and they can find out who are the consultant in Madurai, and they, your name also, if you are a GSTP, your name also will appear. Okay. GSTP can furnish the returns, etc. by using his password. He need not file returns by using client's password. So if a person is having 40 clients, for example, he should have 40, and he is not a GSTP practitioner. Then he should have the names of the person, what is their password, and he has to get, when the, he is going to get the OTP, the client will get, and he has to telephone. All the problems are there, so it can be avoided. These are some of the benefits. And examination, only persons who have passed the examination conducted by NACEN will be able to practice as GST practitioner. That is National Academy for Customs and Indirect Tax, that they are, that is nominated by the government of India to conduct it. This government part of the CBIC only, who can register for writing examination. Okay, I'm not going to read it out. Three slides. You read it, then I will explain what is important thing. It will give some time. Normally, cost accountant, chartered accountant need not go for examination because they are authorized according to the act itself. Now we will see the qualification, because there are some confusion among the persons who gone for registration and all that. So one of the person told me that postgraduates are able to register it, and the graduates that become and all that, they're not rejected. I think it is wrong. I have not inquired whether what is the qualification. I was told that, yeah, 2-3 BCom students, BCom, the persons who have completed BCom tried to enroll, but they didn't accept it. But if they have not accepted, it is wrong, because he has passed a graduate or postgraduate degree or its equivalent examination having degree in commerce, law, banking, including higher auditing, business administration or business management from any Indian university established by any law for the timing in course. So commerce graduates become, they can do it. Business administration also given. Now that is for graduate as well as for post PBA, that are bachelors of business administration. They are also eligible according to me. Moreover, if you have any doubt, don't waste your time discussing with other people. Immediately put the application, you will get the reply. Then you can appeal also. If that is wrongly rejected, you can appeal also. So this type of things, discussing it is time pass. We should avoid, say, as that Tiruvallur says that you have to be time management. Also, he has written many things. So you should not waste the time in discussing with everybody. Everybody will have their opinion. You put the application. That is the thing. So actually, one person contacted me. I think the residential address and all that, some proof is to be given and all that. That belongs to that his wife's name is first and second name is his. Somebody told him that you enter into a lease agreement with your wife and send the lease agreement to the copy of that scanned one. I told that why you want to do that. First of all, you apply and that I think he got it without lease agreement because his name is second. That is enough. You can mark it that his name in the deed and send it also. So like that, and moreover, for registration, you need not pay anything. That is the thing. For examination, you have to pay. Last time they have collected 500 rupees. For registration, you need not pay. A degree examination of any foreign university, any other. I'm not concerned about all that thing. I want to make it that graduates who are BCom, PBA, they can that, and they should, whoever wants working in companies and all that, they should get their enrollment, because when the examination is going to be announced, at least 15 days before you should have got a registration. So it is better now itself they can register it. Okay, enrollment. Persons who are eligible for registration as GSTP, that is that qualification, or government employees which they got 5 years experience at a certain cadre, and sales tax practitioner, income tax return preparers, 5 years. Government employees 2 years, and this sales tax practitioner, income tax return preparer, 5 years experience. They can that. He will be issued certificate and form PCT 2, and it is valid till it is cancelled. No person enrolled as a goods and service tax practitioner shall be eligible to remain enrolled unless he passes such examination. That examination we are going to discuss. He shall not be eligible to remain enrolled unless he passes the examination within a period of 36 months from the appointed date. So that is given appointed date. We will not go into the discussion. Previously it was 24 months. Now it is 36 months, but they have not extended that, even though they didn't conduct the exam in the month of June. Okay, we will go to the services that can be offered by GSTP. Goods and service tax practitioner can undertake all of the following activities on behalf of a registered person, if so authorized by him, to furnish the details of outward inward supplies, furnish monthly, quarterly, annual final return, make deposit for credit into electronic cash ledger, file a claim for refund, file an application for amendment or cancellation of registration. It was there in the original rules also. Now what happened, they have the below given services added with effect from 1st February 2019 by the amendment, after the amendment. Furnish information for generation of e-way bill. Furnish details of challan in form GST ITC 4. File an application for amendment cancellation of enrollment under Rule 58. And file an intimation to any tax, pay tax under composition scheme or withdraw from that. So why I have written specifically it is added, like that they may add some more services also in future. It is better to become GSTP in that. One of the my participant who attended my training program told that, sir, I will complete the exam, but I will not enroll it. I will not because my liability. But they made it very clear. For all the information, client is responsible unless the practitioner is involved in manipulation, etc. If he is not done, whatever information is given, he has filed, he is not responsible. Please don't think that. See, if you are going to tell that risk, no, we will not be able to progress in our life. We have to, but there is no risk at all, because they made it the law everywhere that practitioner is not liable for anything. Who is liable? The person, the registered person is liable. But if the practitioner is involved in manipulation and cheating and all that, then he will be liable. Even if he is doing it without practitioner certificate, also he will be liable, because he is cheating the government. Then he will be liable. Okay. I have just an announcement. I have planned to conduct training course for goods and service tax practitioner exam, but it is not only for exam. That is, I want to make it. First of all, I want to tell you about the exam. This exam is not that tough, or it is not that easy. Some people are two opinions are there among the persons who are consultants or who are employed in the company. One person say that, sir, it is MCQ. Take coffee, tea, or some drink and go and tick it, and you will get through. That type of people also there. Some people are telling, sir, it is MCQ, it is very difficult. It is very no, it is not very difficult. And without knowledge, if you go and tick it, you will not get more than 10%. Here, you have to get 50% mark to pass the examination. That examination will come afterwards. So I am not going to teach you only MCQ all that 50 hours I have planned. I am not going to teach 50 hours MCQ. Some people are having some book on MCQ and they are reading the question, and what is the answer? A is the answer, B is. So that is not going to help. You should understand the subject law, then you will be able to answer the MCQ. But only thing that you should have some practice of answering MCQ. Why? What type of words they are using, what type of questions they are asking, some pattern. To understand that, you have to do some practice. So my plan is that in my program, if that I'm going to conduct 50 hours online course, that 2 hours classes will be there. Next class of that, after completing first session, in second session, first session, whatever subject is covered, it will be revised through MCQ for 10 minutes in the beginning. Not more than 10 minutes, or maximum 15 minutes to revision, or whatever points left over in the previous session might be covered. That's all. I'm not going to have all the 50 hours only MCQ solving, because that is not going to be useful. Okay. Persons who are not interested to write the exam also can attend this course to learn GST thoroughly, handle GST comfortably as consultant or manager of an organization. I have used the word manager. Why? Say consultant means the persons who are giving service to others, but they have not completed the GSTP exam. That they should do it, and it is very beneficial. I already given what is it. But the manager of an employees. So I mean, manager means assistant, assistant manager, deputy manager, manager, senior manager. Sometimes even general managers all above also attend this, and they will learn the subject thoroughly. I will tell you that after attending my program, if a manager is spending X number of hours in a week, after attending my program, he will require only 50% of the X. Of that only he will require, because he will know thoroughly what are the provisions of the act. He need not refer each and every. Likewise, consultant, if he is having 4 hours work every day, after attending my course, most probably 3 hours, 2 hours he will be able to complete, and he will be able to take new clients and all that. That is the thing. So it is not MCQ teaching, it is the teaching the subject thoroughly. So actually, I have taken nearly 12 4 days program for MSME Accra. There only 25 hours or something like that was that. For every day 6 hours, 6 hours, sometimes 15 minutes more and all that. 24, 25, 26 hours. And the person who attended, I asked him to help me to prepare my brochure. He saw that 50 hours. We see that, sir, in your class, if we attend 50 hours, we will learn complete and we will be able to handle it thoroughly. So that is a thing. And some other chartered accountants also told like that. Okay. So it is for the persons who are employed. So I request the employees to consider, if you are working in accounts or as a GST person handling GST, it is better to complete this program, and one you will have the write the exam also, and you will get certificate whenever you are going for promotion, etc., or whenever you are trying to get higher post in some other company and all that. You can tell that you have completed, then they will consider that for handling GST. Even if you are accounts manager, senior manager, internal manager, knowing that GST is required for accounts people also, they will be able to manage the general manager able to manage the GST department also very nicely if he knows that. Okay, that is the thing I wanted to expected to start this course in the second port. Not it is not second port because some requests are that they are telling that up to that 990 date has been extended, and moreover in November they are going to have the income tax return filing. They told them, many a few of them are requested me that you start in the month of November, first week or something like that, and go slow in the first 1 month. Then it is after that the consultants complete the income tax work, you can take it whatever way you want to take it. Moreover, I have planned it 50 plus 5 hours. You may wonder that 50 plus 5 hours, 50 plus 10% of 5 hours, you calculate, I calculated like not like that. If the exam is going to be conducted in December or January, it will be 50 hours. But if it is going to be conducted in June, February, March and all that, before exam, 15 days before the exam, I will have a revision for 5 hours minimum. I have given minimum number of hours. If it is required, it will be more also. If I write now itself, then you know, some of them will be telling that, sir, you have written that many hours and you are not that. So depending upon what is required. One more thing I will tell you that till your exam and all that, I will send whatever changes are taking place which are important for your exam, and handling that I will be sending email and all that. Most probably we will form a WhatsApp group for this that all the participants can ask these questions and the participants cannot answer it. I will answer it. Participants, if they want to answer, they have to send an email to me. After seeing that, if it is correct, I will put with their name who has given that. So like that, there will be no confusion. Say all the participants are going to write it, there will be a confusion. So that is the thing I want to do. So that, see the brochure link in the description. I have given the brochure in the link. Please download it and read it. And if you are interested, you join. If you are not interested, some of your people in your circle might be in need of this type of training. You can that. So this is not exam oriented, but I will tell you that a person who attends most of the classes, he will get minimum 70 marks, 70% of the mark. What type of a question and all that we'll see afterwards. 70%. Why I am telling 70%? I don't want to tell you that higher percentage. You will think that to influence you, I am telling you minimum 70, provided he attends the course in the program. I am not expecting that all the participants will be able to attend all the 50 hours. Even if they don't attend 1 or 2 classes, 2 classes or 5 hours, 6 hours, they are not able to attend, then also they can get 70 marks. Provided they also put some effort. Once again, I tell you that MCQ means don't think that you can go and tick it and you will get that. You, according to that, in United States, they have done a lot of research and all that. If they tick it without any applying their mind, they will not get more than 10% of that. Okay. So I will make you to understand, and you need not see small things. A consultant also need not ask in WhatsApp what is the date for this return. What is whether RCM is applicable for this. They need not. I will. They will learn in the class itself how to find out everything. Okay, that even though that is not for exam, but for practical knowledge. If you know the subject very well, your exam also, I believe that some of the professors used to tell the persons who are getting higher mark, they don't know the subject. The persons who are getting subject, they don't get the higher mark. I don't agree. The persons who know the subject, they will get higher mark. Person who is not knowing the subject will not get high mark. But some of the persons, 1 or 2 persons might not be good in MCQ answering. Some of the persons might be very knowledgeable in the case of descriptive answer. Their language might not be good. They might not be able to write more. That few 5% of the persons might be like that. Otherwise, what happens? Person who knows, he will score higher mark. Person is not knowing, he will get lower mark. Okay, examination rule 83A. Conducting authority, that is National Academy of Customs, Indirect Taxes, Narcotics, shall conduct the examination. Don't think that it is a private sector. No, it is part of the government of CBIC, Indirect Tax Board, and they conduct program for all the indirect tax department people of Central Ladakh. They are having this branches all over India, Chennai, Bombay, and other places. Even I have taken 1 or 2 sessions for them in Bombay. Okay, frequency of examination. Examinations shall be conducted twice in a year as per the schedule of the examination published by the NASIN every year. Till now, they conducted 3 programs. That is June, December, December, June, December. But this June they didn't conduct because of COVID. So they will conduct. Till now, they conducted only for the persons who are having experience of 2 years government officials and practitioner, that only can write. For BCom, BA, MBA, MCom, MBA and all that, they didn't conduct it. It is expected that most probably the exam will be conducted in December this year for both. Most probably, because that they say that it is valid for 3 years the registration. So if they are not conducting the exam, how they can complete it? So definitely it will going to come in the month of, I am not saying that in the month of December, it can be January, February, depending upon COVID-19 situation. Registration for the examination, payment for fee. A person who is required to pass the examination shall register online on a website specified in NASIN and has to pay fee. I think they are charging 500 rupees. Okay. Nature of examination shall be a computer-based test. It shall have one question paper consisting of multiple choice questions of 100. A person shall be required to secure 50% of the total marks. 100 questions, 200 marks. Each MCQ will have 2 marks, 200 marks, 50% to be scored. What is out of that? 100 questions, we have to answer 50 questions correctly. That is a minimum requirement. I told you that you will be able to get 70%. That is 140 marks you will get it. Not 100, you will get 140, provided you devote some time. I'm not expecting that like some students who are doing some course. You are employed people, you are consultant. After attending the class, you have to spend half an hour, 1 hour per day and all that. That will be enough. You will be able to get 70%. They think that you have to listen to me properly, and most of the classes you have to attend. If you have not attended some, say, if you have not attended 2-3 classes, it is not going to make much difference. Because when it is 2-3 months course, we cannot expect that we will be free all the whenever the classes are there. Some time we may have some other important work, so that we have to accept. Paper law and procedures. Time allowed 150 minutes, that is 2.5 hours. Number of multiple choice questions 100. Language of questions English and Hindi. Say what is the language of answers? There is nothing answer. You have to tick it. You are not going to write anything. Minimum marks, maximum mark 200. Qualifying marks 100. No negative marking. So it is very, very important. Because of that, many people will say that, so we can tick and no. If you are going to tick without knowing the answer, you are not going to get the mark. So you should have the knowledge. Because no negative mark, you don't come to the conclusion, I will just tick it, I will get 50 marks. That is not possible. 50%, that is not possible. Syllabus. Central Goods and Service Tax Act, Integrated Goods and Service Tax Act, all the State Goods and Service Tax Act, the Union Territory Goods and Service Tax Act, Goods and Service Tax compensation says. Here, some of you will be wondering, state, how I am going to read it? 27, 28 states I have heard. Say one thing I want to tell you that Central Goods and Service Tax Act, if you master it, automatically you can handle all state goods service tax act also, and union territory also you can handle it, because all of them are replica of central goods and service tax. But you have to study integrated goods and service tax, that is required. Bar export zero rated and all that, it is required, and place of supply and all that. But there the sections are less than 30. But in the case of goods and service tax act, central goods, 172 section or something like that. So integrated goods and service tax act, for these things you refer to integrated central goods and service tax. So you are going to read nearly, and goods and service tax compensation says that also very small. So all the three put together, you may study 120, 20, 30 sections only, and it is very easy, and everything will be available also. Now, rules also, whatever central goods and service tax rules, integrated goods and service tax rules, all the state goods and service tax rules, and notification circulars, orders issued from time to time under the set acts and rules. For example, don't think that you have to read each and every rule and all that. It is not necessary. For example, if you take my book, which you saw in the first, second slide or something like that, each chapter will be consist of Central Goods and Service Tax Act, IGST Act, all the notifications, circulars, orders issued under this acts, everything put together it will be given. So likewise in my class also I will be handling like that. So it is not that you will be taking hundreds of notification, you will read it. Most probably I will ask you to read the circulars, because they explain very nicely. But I will not, if you attend the classes, I will not ask you to read the rules completely, take the printout and read it. It's not required. I will give the gist of it in the class itself, and you will be able to do that. Okay, these are the things I wanted to tell you. Once again, request you that in the I will put that my next slide, my contact details are there. You can, even if you have any doubts you want to ask me regarding the whatever the GSTP and all that, or any other topic, you can send an email to me. Regarding the my programs, the training program also, you go through the brochure. Afterwards, if you have any doubt, you can call me also and do that. Otherwise, you can send an email. I will that. As far as my YouTube is concerned, if you are interested to have something on GST or income tax or other subjects, I will come. That you can see that. I have put in Tamil also and English also. Now I have started putting in English also, and you can see that. So whatever I put it in an YouTube, it is not for the persons who are going to say, it is for the persons to working in medium and small medium enterprises, and consultant who are giving to the medium and all that. It is not for the person who will be appearing in tribunal and all that. So they also, if they want to understand the basics, they can go through that. But I will not be telling in the videos what is the decision in excise, customs, VAT, all that. Unless it is very, very important, I may come out with some videos about the how what are the decisions, other things which affect that separately. But when I put it for all the people, it will tell what is the act, what is the rule, what is the notification, as per what is the thing we have to do. That alone we will do. I will give the, once again I will give my contact details. In YouTube, you put PL some space Subramanian, you will get my channel as well. Thank you for patient hearing. Thank you.